We're being asked to be real. We are being asked to see ourselves maybe in a way that we never have before. I feel that as individuals and as a collective, we're being asked to be truthful with ourselves, to be more transparent, to be more clear in our communication, to be more vulnerable maybe, to be vertically vulnerable, to come from a place of seeing ourselves so that we can see others. I feel that we are being isolated for various reasons, and I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory of it or even just the general theorem of what is happening, but more observing how we're behaving and in response to what's happening in our world. I've noticed this anger within me, this anger bubbling below the surface, and then I'm angry at myself for being angry. It's almost like I think that I'm carrying this weakness, that I'm being angry, and if I'm allowing myself to be angry, it means that I'm not this full-bodied masculine man, right? And so I'm coming to terms with that, because what's happening is I see that anger leaking in the subtleties of my communication. I'm shorter with my wife. Like, I spend the most amount of time with my wife, so she bears the brunt of it. And that's not completely fair. And then having to take ownership of that and apologize. And not having to apologize, but choosing to apologize, or choosing at the very least to take ownership of that. And what does that look like? Going through that gamut of emotions, this frustration, digging into where's this frustration coming from, feeling the collective energy, being empathetic, being compassionate to what's happening, yet also that compassion draining me. Almost feeling like I'm Jekyll and Hyde and being pulled in these two different directions, yet at the same time knowing that I'm not. Knowing that I'm being very real with who I am, and that in fact this oscillation and vacillation between what I'm experiencing is normal. Yet I'm also still denying the anger. I'm still being resistant. And this resistance that I'm experiencing is governing the way I'm expressing in the world. It's governing the way I'm allowing others to see me. I'm holding back. I want to give, I want to give, I want to give, yet giving is sometimes a struggle. I want to serve. I want to heal, but heal has a connotation associated to it that if we're healing something, we're broken. Interesting. Are we broken? Are we fractured? Are we in wholeness? I'm feeling more triggered than I usually am. I'm more agitated. I'm more frustrated. My patience is lower. It's because I'm giving too much. I've stepped into watching, observing what's happening in the world, and asking this question of, how can I serve deeper? How can I go deeper? How can I give more? And in doing so, have I negated myself and my needs? I think I have a little bit. I have a powerful morning practice. My evening practice has been neglected of late. Placing my energy into preparing, into fixing, into organizing. Just moved into a beautiful new home, very grateful, and at this time there's this level of responsibility that I'm taking that I also feel frustrated for, and taking ownership of this is helping me step more into my power, yet not taking ownership of it is me being frustrated and lashing out to the world, being angry, being impatient, not seeing myself, not giving myself an opportunity to breathe, not slowing down enough, slowing down, but maybe not in the right ways. When I mean right, when I say right, what I mean is not slowing down in the ways that I need to slow down to meet myself where I'm at, to meet the resistance, to go deeper into the resistance, to ask, what is the resistance, what it's about? What is it about? Where is the resistance coming from? Do I need to shame the resistance? No, I don't. I can be with it. Do I need to judge the resistance? No, I don't need to judge the resistance. I can be with the resistance. Yet there are times when I'm choosing not to, and those times are accumulating. Those times are adding up more and more, and I'm choosing not to be with the resistance, and eventually the resistance is becoming me. And so I'm having this ongoing dialogue here, and obviously, well, not obviously, but here and in other places of my life and of the world that I live in, asking myself, why am I resistant? And what am I resistant to? Then that means I have to go into it And going into it means I have to acknowledge it, I have to take ownership of it. That means that there's a fear that I have that, am I going to be wrong? Will I be perceived as wrong? By myself, not by anyone else, by myself. There seems to be something in the collective that is spinning maybe frustration, anger, disorientation. I think that's normal in times of uncertainty and chaos. I think embracing the chaos, and I'm learning to do this at a deeper and greater level, instead of just being responsive to, okay, how do we survive, what do we need, how do we need it, and making it happen. I'm doing all that, and I'm very, very adept at that. And there's a prowess that I have, that I move through that. There's a courage that I have, and I own that within myself. However, there's also this neglect of not allowing myself to fully experience my emotions, not allowing myself to fully feel. I think in that feeling, I'm losing a part of me. I'm losing part of what it means to be human. I think there's a fracture there, like not a brokenness, but a fracture. There's a disconnection. And so I don't feel whole, and then I'm frustrated that I don't feel whole. And so the trick is, and I teach this, right, because when we teach, we learn twice. And so I'm teaching this in hope that I can learn twice. Learn maybe more than just twice, maybe thrice, maybe 4 times, 10x, maybe 10x, learn 10x. That it's okay to feel the anger, and it's safe to feel the anger, and it's necessary, because I feel myself breaking through old patterns and old ways that are holding on in an entrenched way to the past, because it's familiar. And in that familiarity, I feel quote unquote safer. But feeling safe in this way, by remaining in the old and in the norm of what I'm accustomed to, that's not healthy, because there's no room for growth and exploration or transition into the unknown. And so whilst there's been probably a little bit more unknown in my life than I'm accustomed to, or maybe have even recognized, I need to deepen my routines, deepen my practices, breath practice, stillness practice, expressive practice, so that I have healthy outlets for my anger, to not judge my anger and somatically move it through my body through exercise, but with a deliberate intention, through hard, intense exercise. Maybe for me, it's more vira, solar, masculine practices. And I'm noticing that the more I do that, the calmer I feel, the more connected I feel to my body, to life, to people, the less judgmental I am of others and what's happening in the world outside of me, because I'm less judgmental of what's happening within me, because I'm giving myself a healthy outlet to express. Please don't get caught and stuck in your frustration. When we get caught and stuck in our frustration, we are losing in life. We feel we're running at a deficit. We come from scarcity, fear, constriction. We feel tight. We must give ourselves permission to feel without judgment. Lean on others if you get stuck, if you feel stuck. Express your truth and know your worth. And that's been one of my biggest lessons, is knowing my worth, that I'm worthy enough to express. And it's okay, I'm allowed to be angry and feel frustration within me. It doesn't mean I'm less than, or I'm weak, or I'm not wise or intelligent or heartful or open. It just means that I'm human. And I have some expression that needs to take place in a healthy way, instead of projecting it onto others. Yeah, I feel a responsibility like I've never really felt before in my life right now, for various reasons that I'm still unpacking. I'm married, I feel a responsibility to my beautiful wife. We've just moved into this amazing home. The world is in a very uncertain place. I want to serve from the best place possible, the healthiest place possible. And parts of me think, well, there's no time for anger, there's maybe no time for me. And I'm almost processing and speaking through what I'm moving through now at a deeper level. Just being here, just speaking to this. But there needs to be time for us. If there's no time for who we are, then how can we give? And that's a lesson that I've learned over the years, and continue to learn, of course. That comes from childhood, comes from people pleasing, giving to others, making sure that others are happy in order to feel safe within myself. And there's the crux, and never having time for myself or giving myself the attention that I needed. And I can actually find the balance point in that. I can do it in a healthy way without having to be extreme, and that's what I'm learning. That's what's being unpacked for me. And that's one of the greatest lessons and teachings that I'm able to receive in the here and now. I'm worthy to receive and I'm worthy to experience all of it. I'm worthy to experience the gamut of emotions, and that's okay, and that's also healthy. So my invitation to you is, can you be in that place? Can you be in that place that opens your heart, that where you can see you for who you truly are? Own that. Step into that power. Because the world needs that. The world needs the whole expressive version of you, not just a partial version. And I've noticed when I'm just partial in my expression that I'm not effective. Power and blessings to you, people. Be safe, be aware, be you.